officially good afternoon, everybody. I am Mike Downhour, President and CEO of the Monroe Chamber of Commerce, and yes, that's a little weird for me to say too. We're going to talk about the former one soon, so thank you though for that. I really do appreciate it. I hope you've had the opportunity to finish your lunch catered by Creative Catering. If you have not, please feel free to continue. Look at all these good-looking people up here. I mean, this is one of the best-looking rooms I've seen. Look at the person next to you and tell them how good-looking they are. Please do it right now. Yep. There has to be a law. There has to be a law about this many good-looking people in one room. So just feel proud that you're part of that there. All right, I'm here to tell you that it is a beautiful day in the greatest city of all, and we got a lot of great cities up here too as well. Monroe, Louisiana. We're thankful to be meeting on the campus of this incredible university, the University of Louisiana, Monroe. Let Talon's out. Let's see him. Can we see him? Okay, that's good. That's good. I truly believe there is no better place than right here, right now, in a city that is building momentum, in a region that is growing opportunity and proving that Northeast Louisiana matters. At the Monroe Chamber, we believe leadership matters and vision matters. Partnerships between local and state leaders also matter. So that is something you can look for plenty in the future. That's what we will be doing. I'd like to begin today's activities by introducing Pastor John O'Leary, First Methodist Church, to deliver our invocation.
A couple things. Number one, some of you may need to confess because you told somebody near you they were beautiful and maybe you didn't mean it. Just saying. I was by Dr. Morrison, and I'll just let you be the judge of that. But the other thing I wanted to remind us is that most of us have eaten. And typically we pray before the food because we ask the Lord to bless the food. But really, the goal is not to ask the Lord to bless the food. The goal is to be thankful for the provision of the food and of being together in an environment like this where we encourage one another, where we celebrate one another, where we celebrate what God is doing. We celebrate the good things and the broken things that we do and endeavor to tackle together. Amen? To that end, let's pray. Good and gracious God, I thank you for your provision and your goodness as you carry us in our time together today. Lord, would you encourage our hearts for the fact that you want to use us in our gift mix, in this setting, and in our jobs that you've given us, that you've provided for us, to ultimately give you glory and bring you honor. So, Lord, to that end, we give you this time together, and may we endeavor to live for you in all that we do, say, and think. And in Jesus' name, all God's people said, Amen. Let me do the pledge. You got it.
No, you didn't play all that, so you want to do it?
I will.
Yes.
Let's do the pledge.
Would y'all please stand?
Please stand.
That's right.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And after those words, LT, I think we can just almost leave after that. But no, there's another important speaker yet to follow here. So I want to introduce the individuals seated at our head tables. On my far left, your right, is the man you just met, John O'Leary. And next to him is Dr. Ray Morrison, Dean of VCOM, Louisiana. Next to him is Dr. Carrie Castile, President of the University of Louisiana at Monroe. Next to her is former President and CEO of the Monroe Chamber. We affectionately call him #retired Roy now. Only we won't let him retire quite yet, but coming soon. Matthew Dickerson is next to him, 2026 Board Chair for the Monroe Chamber of Commerce and Chief Strategy Officer for Mid-South Extrusion. Next up, the Honorable Friday Ellis, Mayor of the City of Monroe. Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser, we'll hear more about him in a little while. The Honorable Shane Smiley, President of the Ouachita Parish Police Jury. The Honorable Stacy Mitchell, Mayor of the great city of West Monroe. The Honorable Gerald Brown, Mayor of the incredible town of Richwood. And the Honorable Matt Talbert, Mayor of the thriving town of Sterlington, Louisiana. I'd like to now recognize today's luncheon sponsors. We'll start off down here, Dr. Michael O'Neill, Chief Medical Officer for Ochsner LSU Health Monroe. Next to him is Chris Tingle, Market Manager for The Radio People. Then Chris Holyfield, Vice President for Holyfield Construction. That is not Randy Stone sitting next to him. That is Brittany Joe, Strategic Accounts Executive for KTVE KARD, a definite improvement from Randy there. So thank you, Brittany. Philip Thomas, President of Pilots for Patients, an incredible organization. The Honorable Erica Hughes, Councilwoman for the town of Sterlington. Alana Cooper, President, CEO for Discover Monroe, West Monroe. Dr. Michelle McCann, Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs at ULM. Richard Ainsworth, Division Controller for Steel Fabricators, a Lexicon Inc. company. Josh Brown, Compliance Manager for Mid-South Extrusion. John Avan, Founding Partner of Great Minds Agency. And the Honorable Rodney McFarland, Chairman of the Monroe City Council. Please give them all a round of applause. Also sponsoring today's event is Homeland Bank and Fire Tech Systems. Thank you guys all for being a sponsor and making this happen and supporting our governmental programs. Working with the Chamber on that is how things really get done around here. I'd like to recognize our elected officials who are here today. I can't name all of them by name because you're scattered, but if you are an elected official, would you please stand? Hey, hey. And thank you all for joining us. I'd like to first call on Dr. Carrie Castile to offer a welcome on behalf of ULM. I just want to call her an Energizer Bunny, but she would put the Energizer Bunny to shame. Please welcome her.
Thank you so much. Welcome to ULM. I want to first thank the Chamber for the work that you do and for hosting these types of events. They're absolutely critical to our community, and we appreciate the opportunity to be able to show off our campus. So thank you all so very much. Thank you to the business leaders and the business community that's here and all the elected officials. We really, really appreciate your continued support. Lieutenant Governor Nungesser, thank you for being here, for your continued support and your leadership here in Louisiana. I want to be the first to be able to welcome you to our ULM, home of the Warhawks, where we truly are the best in the Bayou. Thank you.
All right, John.
I'd like to now call on Ouachita Parish Police Jury President Shane Smiley.
Thanks, Mike. I'm so used to saying thanks, Roy. I've got to get used to that. Just want to welcome all of you here on behalf of the parish today. So grateful for the opportunity for us to be included. Thanks to our event sponsors for sponsoring us this luncheon today. We appreciate the Lieutenant Governor coming up or over from Shreveport, as we talked about earlier, and visiting with us. 25 was a year, but 26 has started out with a real bang for us. We kind of don't know if we're coming or going. I know you didn't see any trees down, but the Lieutenant Governor is no stranger to natural disaster, so I know that he understands where we're coming from. We appreciate the job that you do in promoting Louisiana and our culture and all of the people here. And if I could, I'd just like to ask all of you to give yourselves a round of applause for coming through the storm. Certainly, I don't want to take away from the Lieutenant Governor's visit, but so proud of all the people of Ouachita Parish, Monroe, West Monroe, Sterlington, Richwood. Your resilience through the storm has just been incredible. We appreciate you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Shane. I'd like to now call on Mayor Friday Ellis. If we're having a beauty contest up here, I know who my vote is, and she's not one of the guys. But come on, Mayor Friday, let's do this.
Before I get started to welcome our friend, Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser, I want to address all of you here today. I can't tell you how proud it makes me to be your mayor. Early in the morning, many of you sat around and heard transformers exploding. And just like many of you, they woke up the next morning and saw and heard chainsaws going off. It didn't take anyone to ask for your help. You immediately woke up to help a neighbor. The calls I got from those of you who were caring for seniors who had no one to call was amazing. Nothing short of amazing. And when Roy says there's no other place I'd want to live and spend out the rest of my days, it's with you. You make me proud. I saw the best in this community. But I'm also going to lay down the challenge to all of you. Don't let it take a natural disaster for you to continue to check on your neighbor, to love on one another. I've told the Lieutenant Governor we've got enough wood around here to build his next Mardi Gras float. So we've got plenty of it. But I want to address the challenge that we went through, and you rise to it every single time. This is our fourth natural disaster to get through together. Roy, I'm hoping that they don't think it's God's wrath on Monroe for electing me mayor. But I'm proud of you, and I'm proud to be your mayor. We also have another really good friend of ours and a special guest in Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser. I know folks talk about the job that you do, but a lot of times it goes unnoticed. We have communities like Monroe and West Monroe that have taken advantage of our historic tax credits to keep our downtowns beautiful. And you've got a champion right here that went to bat for these tax credits when they were on the line. Film credits, historic tax credits. He understands the importance of arts and culture and what it means to Louisiana that makes us uniquely Louisiana. And you've got a champion right here, and I will say, sir, thank you for all that you do. Yeah. Yep. He understands that we may not be etouffee or gumbo. We're a little hog, duck, rabbit, and quail up here. But he understands the difference and the distinction and what makes us unique. And that doesn't come from somebody that lives in Baton Rouge and stays in Baton Rouge. He is no stranger up here. He doesn't need MapQuest to know how to get to Monroe or West Monroe or Sterlington or Richwood. He really is a champion for us. And sir, I want to say it's an honor every time you come up, and thank you for your hard work in promoting not only Northeast Louisiana, but our state that we love so much. Thank you.
Now I would like to introduce Matthew Dickerson to introduce our speaker, and he is our new board chair for 2026.
Good afternoon. It's my pleasure to introduce Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser. Lieutenant Nungesser and his team have led Louisiana tourism to record-breaking success, driven by a commitment to celebrating and promoting the state's one-of-a-kind culture, food, music, and natural beauty. A lifelong businessman and problem solver, he brings a private sector approach to government, helping him earn recognition as one of Louisiana's most passionate and dedicated public servants. Since taking office in 2016, Lieutenant Governor Nungesser has worked tirelessly to elevate Louisiana on a global stage, while championing causes like protecting our Louisiana seafood industry, overcoming our state's litter problem, and offering neighborly hand to others in times of need through volunteerism. It's those positions that led him to be reelected to a third term as Lieutenant Governor in 2023 with more votes than any other elected official for the second election cycle in a row. Lieutenant Governor has dutifully served his state and its people through many major events, from devastating hurricanes to the Deepwater Horizon oil spill, to times of celebration like countless Mardi Gras events and Tournament of Roses parades. Whether he's promoting big cities or rural communities, beautifying state parks or main streets, or talking to one of Louisiana or 1,000, his mission remains the same: to make Louisiana a better place. Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser.
Thank you so much. It is great to be with you today. And Mayor, what you said about the people of Louisiana is absolutely true. I called for volunteers from our state parks in the South to come up and help, and every one of them said, we'll go. They came up and helped set up the electrical people at the state parks to help y'all. But that's what Louisianans do. The best comes out in time of need. But I tell you, what makes me really proud to be Lieutenant Governor, as I travel the world, I ask travel agents and tour operators all over, why do you send people to Louisiana? Well, you hear the food, the music, culture, but every one of them has a story about the way you treat people. Where else in the world do you invite strangers to your backyard for crawfish? But everyone that visits Louisiana leaves here with a friend for life, and they keep coming back for more. So the record-breaking numbers in tourism we enjoy are because of you. It's because of the way we treat people. And that's got to make you incredibly proud to be from Louisiana. I know it does me every time I hear those stories around the world about the way we treat people. So we're very lucky to live here, and it's times of disaster when the good comes out, but it's year-round the way we treat people. So thank you for that. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Now, we are well on our way back to those record-breaking numbers we saw before the COVID. You know, in 2019, 53 million people visited little old Louisiana, left behind $1.9 billion in taxes. It's over $1,100 per Louisiana family we didn't have to pay. That year, it was the fourth biggest industry in Louisiana. We've slipped to number 5. We had about 44 million people in 2024. We don't have the 25 numbers. They'll be a little bit up. We've got some challenges this year, but we also got some real opportunities. You know, during COVID, we all got on the phones. Elena, all of our tourism folks around the state said, what are we going to do competing with every state as we come out of this pandemic? And they said, what do we do better than anyone? We throw a parade, Mardi Gras. So we looked around the country, and I got to tell you, we were in the Macy's parade for 3 years. The third year, they kind of zipped by because they were running behind, didn't give us the exposure we thought we'd get, so we didn't renew that contract. But the Rose Parade has knocked it out the park every year. What you don't see on TV is we put a satellite truck in that den, and we give all our partners from around the state interviews from 5 in the morning to 10 at night, talking, and every morning show in the country would love to see how you build that float. We give it to them. We just ask for 2 to 3 minutes to talk about every corner of Louisiana. And we see results right after that parade and people going to our website looking to book trips. And I got to tell you, ever since we started promoting family-friendly, safe, affordable Mardi Gras in every corner of the state, we've seen double-digit improvements in out-of-town people coming to small towns to enjoy Mardi Gras outside of the big city. So it's been a real success. And like I said, the way you treat people, they just keep coming back for more. How many people here has been to the Rose Parade with us? Oh, now come on. Next year I'm coming back, and I better see more hands. We had 150 Louisianans come out and help us decorate that float. We found a little old lady in Pasadena. She's from New Orleans. She owns a beignet truck. So we bring her in the den and have hot beignets every morning from 5 to 9. We serve Louisiana seafood for lunch. And then one night, to thank all of our volunteers that come out, we have a big party in the Rose Stadium. And whoever our performer is performs for our team, and we feed you. Everybody should try to come. It ought to be on your bucket list. Every year we meet new people from all over the world and get them excited about coming to Louisiana. Here's a little video to get you excited about coming next year.
We could not miss out on that opportunity to bring our very own Kenyan family to Southern Louis Outdoors to celebrate exactly what we have here in St. Meadow Parish.
Really had a great impact on our tourism industry, and each year All right, next year I want to see more hands go up. We're gonna, we'll be going out to California to sign our new deal for next year, and then shortly after that, we'll put up on the website where you can sign up to come. Trust me, it's a trip of a lifetime. You can bring the kids, the grandkids. They get to crush up the coconut and put it on the float. It's something every Louisiana should take advantage of and come out and partner with us. You know, something that Elena's done a great job here, and our mayor's supporting the sports tourism. You know, we know the Super Bowl and Sugar Bowl is always going to be in New Orleans. But several years ago, we hired a team to go around meeting with the Olympic trials, the sports travel teams, and travel the country, plugging in events where they fit. And y'all have invested in the arenas and things to host those things. And the reason we're able to help steer those things to communities like this is the hotel's affordable, you have the arenas and places to host them. And we see the sports tourism continuing to grow, especially those Olympic trials. They stay 10 to 12 days, they bring their families to watch them compete, and then when they're not competing, they're shopping and spending money in your community. So that's something we're excited about, and we think we're just getting started. The sky's the limit at bringing those events here. Another thing that we really need to focus on, I believe, is this rail across North Louisiana. We just opened that rail in New Orleans through Gulfport, Mississippi, and it's already produced $1 billion in economic benefit to the region. And we know a lot of the international visitors like to travel by train. So connecting from Dallas all the way through Louisiana, we'll see more international visitors flying to Dallas, get on that train, and make many stops across Louisiana. Not to mention what it will do for business that use rail, being able to open a business on this corridor. So we really need to put our pressure on our congressmen and senators and our governor to really push this to happen. Until I saw what that line did out of New Orleans, it really got me excited about the potential up here and what it could mean to North Louisiana. That Mardi Gras line just got an award for the best new tourism initiative in the country. So it's making a lot of headway down there, and it's something we need to focus on happening up here. Now, when I got elected, and I always say this, Jay Darden gave me a tour of the office and said, Billy, you're gonna have to close 7 state parks. Good luck at pick with 7 to close. You don't have the money to keep them open. And I said, well, Jay, why didn't you close them? He said, hell, I was running for governor. I wasn't closing them. Well, thanks to a lot of help from local volunteers, our sheriffs, we replaced a lot of fixtures in the bathrooms, cleaned them up. We were able to keep them all open. And because of the legislature allowing us to now do private-public partnerships, 7 parks are making a profit. And with your help, I see a day when we won't need any tax dollars to run our parks. We're looking to build a couple resort conference centers in our parks. The one in Alabama pays for all the state parks. We're looking for people that want to put an RV lazy river like they've got around the state where there's none. We don't want to, we will never compete with local business. Everything we do in the park, we will vent with the local chamber, elected official, tourism. We won't open any restaurants. We want them to leave the park and go eat and shop in the local community. But let me tell you 2 initiatives we did at Bogachita. Has anybody been to the mountain bike trail there? So when we first did, thank you, when we first did the partnership with this gentleman and another gentleman to bring his horses and do horseback riding, the naysayers said, Billy, nobody's going to Washington Parish to ride a bike. Well, today, that mountain bike trail is the #2 mountain bike trail in the country. 2,000 people a month from 15 states travel to Washington Parish to ride bikes or ride horses. And if you go into Washington Parish that really had no tourism on any weekend, you'll see mountain bikes on cars, horse trailers. It has changed that community forever. It's been so successful, we just acquired 600 more acres to double the size, and we just opened a special track for our disabled veterans that are coming from all over the country to ride this new trail. Here's a little video of a piece of it. Take a look. That's the trail I'd be on right there. There's trails for all ages, but that's just a taste of what we can do. So think about what you want in the state parks that will bring more people into your community. If you want to build 10 cabins and split 90-10, we want to talk to you. You can go to louisianastateparks.com and look at the opportunities, but there's nothing we won't consider as long as it's in the park setting. You know, we have one group want to open a go-kart track. We want to keep it quiet. We got zip lines, we're talking to people, glamping, but we want local investors from Louisiana to make that money and keep that money here. So if you've got an idea or a thought, it doesn't have to be a biggie project. We just let a mom and pop move their canoe operation in the Fontainebleau. They've doubled the size and doing canoe trips out of Fontainebleau State Park. So we'd rather have local companies that we can help accelerate and grow their business, partner with us. So please reach out to us and let us know. We'll send a team up to meet with you and see what we can do to make that happen. Now, something that we've really focused on this year, I'm over the Seafood Promotion Board, and last year the legislature moved inspection of the seafood from the Health Department under my office, and we partnered with Mike Strain, the Commissioner of Ag. Prior to that, of 2,800 violations, nobody got fined. This year, we're cracking down. We've done 400 inspections. We found 18 packaged mislabeled, and we've issued 138 fines for mislabeling seafood. Why is that important? Because you saw the scare at Walmart, the seafood that was infected. We inspect less than 5% of the imported seafood coming into this country. Much of it's grown in human waste, chock full of antibiotics to kill bacteria, and it's going unchecked. And so we caught a guy with Boudreaux's crawfish tails. They were from Taiwan. That you can't do that. So we're catching them, people are reporting them, and we're making an impact. And we also passed a law that you have to put on your menu if you're serving imported seafood, because you want to know where it's coming from. So we're asking everyone, to ask before you eat and demand Louisiana seafood. Here's a little video we're pushing out to support the seafood industry.
Louisiana seafood is the best because it's fresh out the Gulf and it's that love and passion that goes in preparing.
This is something that is taught through generations. It's our own. This is what we are taught to do. This is what we love to do. You know, we feed America. We feed the state of Louisiana. We just want to make sure that it stays around for generations to come.
We all need to get involved if we're going to save our seafood industry. Ask before you eat.
Demand Louisiana seafood.
So we're seeing more and more restaurants now that we're promoting them for serving good Louisiana seafood, changing from the imports and going back to domestic seafood. So I appreciate your help in that. Now we all know this year is America's 250, and there's going to be celebrations all over the state, and we're committed to putting money behind promoting each and every one of them to make sure they're successful. We're going to have the tall ships in New Orleans, and then we'll be having a booth in D.C. at the National Mall to promote all the great history of Louisiana and what we've meant to this country, to highlight all those great things in Louisiana. So if y'all are planning an event or we can help you with an event, let us know. This is the official logo. The legislature put together a commission to plan these events, and if you need help, we're glad to help you with that. Now, litter is a big problem in our state. 3 years ago, I asked the legislature to move the litter, Keep Louisiana Beautiful, under my office, like I needed something else to do. But I realized we had a very dirty state. We hired a litter expert. Yes, there is a litter expert. She did a full study of where does our litter come from, who litters, what communities are worse than others. And she came back and said, the bad news is you've got a very dirty state. The good news is I've seen worse. And I cleaned up Tennessee, I cleaned up Arkansas, Texas, and Florida. And if you keep your foot on the gas, in 3 to 5 years, you can clean up your state. And we're going to do that. I got to tell you, up until this year, if you reported someone littering, they got a nice letter from me saying you were caught littering on I-10, please don't do it again. The legislature now allows me to mail you a ticket. Why is that important? Because if you get a ticket for littering, or you pick up litter for a day, you're 80% less likely to litter. And only about 22% of Louisianans litter, and we pay the price for that. And that price was about $100 million last year to clean up litter. Look, I believe in an earlier life my wife littered, but ever since I make her go up every month and pick up around our interstate aisles, she points out everything on the highway. It will change you forever. But right now you can sign up for Love the Boot Week. When we started this 3 years ago, Love the Boot had 54 groups clean up around Louisiana. Last year, 1,471 groups in every parish, 14 universities, and yes, your university did a great job, but it has become a movement. You can sign up now, and after Love the Boot Week, in September, we're going to roll out Love the Waterways of Louisiana. And we're partnering with CCA, Ducks Unlimited, and we're going to clean up every waterway, every lake and stream all over Louisiana. And this is something we all can get involved in. You can sign up under Clean Biz, put garbage cans back in the parking lot, empty them. Cracker Barrel is the only company that has garbage cans all over the parking lot. You never see trash in the parking lot. So put them in the parking lot, empty them. I spoke at 3 schools this week up here, and I told the kids, you go home and tell your parents if they litter, you're going to call the lieutenant governor. They love to tell their parents what to do. But we got a new video, and this came from a 5th grader. The teacher asked her, why shouldn't we litter? And she said, because it hurts the animals. So we have Roxy the raccoon, a 4-minute video talking about how we don't litter. The animals don't litter where we live, so we shouldn't litter where they live. And we're showing that in the schools. We've got a new packet of educational tools that they're supposed to teach in the school. We've distributed them to all the schools. And if you go to get your driver's license, there's a 4-minute video, and there's questions on the driving test about litter. The answers are in that video. We're giving out grants for garbage cans. But if you've got an idea that we can make up a grant, one of the sheriffs needed a van. We've now bought 8 vans for sheriffs so they can take work release out. And we're providing cameras through Wildlife and Fishery. We bought 100 cameras and put them out. Take a look at just a short amount. Every one of these people got a ticket for littering from $250 to $1,000 for gross littering. It really bothers me, the guy that brought his kids to litter. Take a look. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I got 4 hours of that. But every one of them got a ticket. And I got to tell you, for the first time, DOTD, Wildlife Fishery, DEQ are working hard to clean up Louisiana. DOTD just partnered with a company that is getting sponsors for our interstates, corporate sponsors. They'll put up a sign and they will pay someone once a month to clean up the interstates all over Louisiana. I hope to get all the interstates adopted or sponsored because that's something that we desperately need to do. Now, we tried to add $1 to renewal of the driver's license. The legislature didn't want to go for it because if we get a little more money on the front end, we can save millions on the back end. So we've had to go out and get private money. Coca-Cola, a lot of companies. If you want to put up some billboards and put, clean up Louisiana and highlight your company, we want to talk to you. But I got called by the Pratt family, which owns 12 Sonics, and we're trying to get it in all the Sonics, and they said, Lieutenant Governor, we would like you to come up with a drink, the Blue Pelican, and we'll donate 100% of the proceeds to keep Louisiana beautiful. But there's one catch. You got to come work in a Sonic for a day. I said, well, I'm not getting on the roller skates. That ain't happening. But I went there and tested 12 drinks. We picked the one I liked the best, and I worked in Sonic for a day. And I got to tell you, the lady, I went up to the car and she goes, "Excuse me," I had the little change belt on. She says, "Aren't you the lieutenant governor?" I said, "Yes, ma'am, I do this on Wednesdays for extra money." So she drove off shaking her head. Take a look at this little video of my day at Sonic.
Of proceeds goes to Keep Louisiana Beautiful Foundation to help clean up Louisiana. The Blue Pelican, you are the big one. This is like one of the most special things I've done in all my years as Lieutenant Governor. Here's your Blue Pelican, and they're donating all the proceeds for these new drinks to keep Louisiana beautiful. Well, you're a very special guest. So here's the trash bag for your car. We ask the people not to let us. I'm working up an appetite. Hey guys, I'm trying to get up. I got a first tip. Here y'all go. It's a great day up in Louisiana. We don't live at Sonic. You're not going to want to miss this incredible drink. It's sold all year long. Come out and try it. You're going to love it.
So we're getting creative in partnerships. Now, I'm gonna get a little political for a moment. I'm gonna close with a video. I just want you to watch it. I was asked to go to Arizona and speak about open primary. And it's called Unite America. And it's 31 billionaires putting up a lot of money, not to buy political influence, but they believe the only way to save this country is open primary. Far left and the far right don't agree on anything, and nothing gets done in Congress. As a matter of fact, Congress has a 20% approval rating. And the thing that shocked me is 10% of America elects 87% of our Congress. You see, we know Congressman Scalise is going to win his district, so why go vote? And in the runoff, it doesn't matter because he's the nominee. So we need to, years ago, I see my good friend, the congressman here, Rodney, the Republicans and Democrats used to talk. They disagreed, but they came together and solved problems in Baton Rouge and in Washington. And they truly believe China and Russia is not a threat. Our threat is our own government. Because whatever the Republicans do, Democrats will get back in charge, they will undo. We'll never get a long-term defense plan. We'll never get a plan to reduce the deficit. We're just going to spend while we're there, and the other side will take care of it. So watch this video and just think about it, because I think we all need to get involved in making changes that will benefit the greater good, which I believe is most of us that are somewhere in the middle. Take a look.
This is a snapshot of America. And there's some folks on the far left and some on the far right. But most of us are somewhere in between. Now this is our Congress. They're becoming so divided and so extreme that working together to solve problems seems impossible. Which explains why the last Congress had a ridiculously low approval rating of just 20%. But somehow, 95% of them got reelected, which begs some big questions. The answer is because our representatives literally don't represent us. Because most of us don't elect them. Buckle up and we'll explain. Most of our voting happens in the general election, so we assume that's the election that matters. But it's not that simple. Today, 83% of congressional districts are so Democratic or so Republican that they're considered blocked for one party or the other. And whichever party has a lock on the district will always have the winning candidate. So the general election is over before it even begins. That means the only election that actually matters is the one where each party picks their candidate. And that happens in the primary election. And here's the even bigger problem. Participation in primary elections is extremely low. And the voters that do participate tend to be the most partisan and the most ideologically extreme. The result is a small, often extreme minority of voters wind up deciding the vast majority of our elections. And that's how we keep getting a divided and dysfunctional Congress that fails to represent we, the people. Take 2020. Despite a record turnout in the general election, only 10% of all voters cast ballots in primaries. That effectively decided 83% of our congressional seats. Just 10%. This is the problem with partisan primaries. And it's the primary problem of our politics today. They create a system where hundreds of lawmakers only have to answer to the small extreme base that elects and re-elects them. And the rest of us, the majority of us, don't matter. And neither do the problems we care about. The solution is actually simple. Our Constitution gives every state the freedom to replace the partisan primaries with a single, non-partisan primary. This will allow all voters to have the ability to support whichever candidate they want, regardless of party. The top finishers then advance to the general election, where whoever earns a majority of votes wins. Several states have already adopted nonpartisan primaries, from Alaska to California. We just need more to follow. Together, we can fix the primary problem and put voters first. We can have a Congress that actually represents us and solves the problems we care about.
So the closed primary of this election is going to cost Louisiana over $17 million. I think we could better spend that money on something else. So this is something I'm passionate about, and I think it's important in Louisiana as well as around the country. So thank you for listening to me today. God bless you.
Thank you, Lieutenant Governor. I learned a thing or two today, and we all need to be working on that litter problem locally as well. So we'll talk more about that later on. Before we adjourn, I'd like to once again thank all of our sponsors today. There's a lady in the back. Her name is Daphne. She doesn't want you to look at her, but she put this event on, and I'd like for you to give her a round of applause. And please mark your calendars. The annual banquet is coming up quickly, February 26th. The LABI Luncheon will be coming up March 23rd. And Northern Exposure, where we load up and go see you guys in Baton Rouge, is happening on May 5. This concludes our program. Thank you so much for coming. We'll see you next time.